Welcome back to this course, Introduction to the Kotlin Programming Language, presented by Coding Bootcamps. This is our final session, Session 8. We're going to look at Kotlin Infix function notation. Kotlin provides us this way of creating, you can see here a data class, and in what we call an infix function. And you can see how the infix function is built here. What we have here again is a typical Kotlin project. You can see here we have our source file, create our package here, t9 underscore functions, and then we can see it referenced here. And our Kotlin class file is right within the package. So we can take a look at our main function here. So we're declaring two values, two variables, C1 and C2, and they are based on the complex number function that's up here. So, and notice here there are two different ways of calling the adding. So this infix function here is just simply called add. And notice here there is a usual or a typical call we can see here where we just say we're calling add on C1 and we're passing in C2. So we're calling add here on C1. We can see the add method and we're passing in as a parameter C2. But there's also an infix call here where we can just simply say C1 call add and then C2 right after that. So this is considered to be, I guess you could say, more intuitive as far as making functional calls. So making it possibly a little clearer because obviously this usual or traditional notation here can be a little confusing at first. So and could use there may be some commenting required, whereas down here it's almost clear from the beginning what is going on. So if we look up here again, we can see here that we have real part, which is a double, imaginary part, which is also a double. You can see here we do some addition of the real parts and the imaginary parts. And then here we actually have then we call complex number, which is right here, complex number, where we call it with the passing in the real part and the imaginary part. And you can see here the doubles that are passed in. And notice we are returning a double here. So it's similar to what we looked at in a previous presentation. So again, we are then returning this, we're returning the results here from the infix function. So let's take a look here at the two different ways we can return the results from these two different function calls. Click here next to our main function, this run arrow, and click Run Infix Notation. And we can see here that complex number, we can see real part equals 6, and we can see imaginary part equals 12. So, and you can see here how everything was just put in here, how these two, 3 and 3 is 6, and 5 and 7 is 12. And then it's just simply presented in two different types of method calls. So again, C1 and C2 were added within this complex number function, and there were these two different ways to call. So please, for your assignment, please take a look, try passing in here, updating our parameters here, maybe even add another value here, complex number, and take a look at the different results you'll get. And thanks for watching this video on infix notation in Kotlin. Thank you again for watching this video on Kotlin infix notation. And thank you for watching this course on the introduction to the Kotlin programming language. Again, it's been a pleasure presenting to you. And this course, Introduction to the Kotlin Programming Language, has been a presentation of coding boot camps. Please stay in touch and look for more courses in the future.